Ooh. Take that. And a scarf. Take that. Do I need money at this point? We can't, like, go back, from my understanding, so... Great blast door. Can I head this way? No, it doesn't. Does it go under? It goes under. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Run your fingers across the keyboard.
The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is this then?
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
The lieutenant points to the wires running into the machine. Can this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see.
Turn emergency
That
open?
one. The emergency open.
Push light interior. Ooh, slide radio dial.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange.
Slide radio dial?
The dial slides under the glass, dark and silent. Restoring electric power has not breathed life into it.
Okay, turn emergency open.
The blast door opens
Aha!
with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
I didn't realize it needed opened, but it did. Wow, that's bigger than I thought it was.
After you.
What's there? Point to the door.
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
He takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, and holsters it again. I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
Let's go. You think I forgot? The hatch is jammed shut. What's this way? Oh, is this... Hold on. I think this is outside. We're in the area that I couldn't figure out how to get to. It's my guess, anyway. Maybe. Firing slit. You can see inside. Oh. Must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. Distant sound of cargo ships, signal horns echo on the water. Can we get down this way? Now, is this the way we were supposed to go, or is the blast door the way we're supposed to go? Ice cracks under your feet. Be careful not to fall through. Alright, maybe the blast door was where... Ah! Pain in your pelvis makes you wince, then you continue. Inside of the fortress, you make out the console and the blast door. Because I think we had to... Because if I had used the thing to paint, I wouldn't have had fuel. The wench is broken, rust has eaten what remains of the chain.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in.
Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No, don't like this train of thought.
Yes.
No.
No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
Raise your sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Shake your head. No extra thoughts. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to step into the cold, frigid water and have terrible things happen to us. That's just a bad idea all around. No way to jump down there without breaking a few bones. Okay. Oh, here we go. The depot that supplied this chain is long gone, so here's more fuel. But we had fuel. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old medicine cabinet newly stocked with Doramine.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
This looks like a good place to aim from.
The lieutenant looks around. He steps closer with his hand on his gun. Inspect the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Pick one out of the can?
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
I saw the same brand of cigarettes extinguished in Land's End.
Could be a coincidence. Or the same person has visited Land's End and here. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
Inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole in the concrete.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
On the left?
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right?
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
In the middle?
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Motherfucker.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
What does that mean, Kim? Come on.
More than that.
Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this.
Kim, I could make it. I can make the shot.
Good. I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
He pats you on the back. 3 small pats in a row.
Affirmative.
Better late than never. Why didn't we come here before?
Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure.
6 people are dead. We could have prevented it.
Don't beat yourself up.
Aw.
officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
He looks north over the fortification, then adds,
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
He looks behind his back. On this island.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says,
We should move now.
Okay. Ooh, thought finished.
The Insulindian Miracle. It's easy. You know the poem by heart because you were taught it at school. It is one of the Volta Dolmar mantras repeated on the voyage that lead to the discovery of the Insulindian Isola. And the words mean, nothing will be changed about the light. Colors like gray and brown, all printed on top of each other. I found a blank white spot. All the others looked up. What a beautiful day. What beautiful weather. But all I heard was the printing machine. What strange words to celebrate a new world.
What bonuses did we get? All white checks unlocked. Oh. Alright, I don't need to forget that. And I didn't want to mess with this. Because, okay. Alright, so I'm going to leave it alone. I just save all the time, so... I think we're reaching the end anyway. Ooh. You feel eyes on your back, someone's watching, but you can't say where. Now, oop. Nope, come back. Water rushes below, far down below. I don't know. Can I put more fuel in it since I have extra fuel?
This old cylindrical
Or more
generator
fuel.
waits with the lieutenant assists you. Holding the canister up, there's a red starter switch on the side. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an...
That should do it. Downstairs, into the console, then...
The tank is far from full, but there should be enough.
Okay, so that didn't do anything. I got the exact same... Yeah, yeah. It wasn't... You weren't meant to have both. I understand. Walk slow, it might be dangerous. Okay, let's follow that correctly this time. Watch it not mean anything. Not over there? Okay. Can I go this way? No. There's something over here. No, it said walk slow, it might be dangerous. Was that just in there? Or is that all... I don't know. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated and broken. Small white flowers blossom all around you. Oh! Is that the fireman?
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth.
I maybe should have saved before this conversation.
Then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp.
He has a gun.
He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins.
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
Shakes his head. How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
The music we were playing?
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
You didn't say that, Kim.
I did.
No, yeah.
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world.
It's not rock and roll. It's sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Okay, dude. Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Bell McGrave?
It's a Triangong 446.
A Samurai rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Xinyao commune. Military aid.
He pats the rifle.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Hinziao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
His gaze turns inward. Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too. Put your hand on your belt.
Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck.
His eyes narrow.
Have you come to make me one of them?
His grip on the rifle tightens.
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more.
The lieutenant puts his hand on his holster.
If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. That's all the answer he gives. I need you to put the gun down. You can keep the gun. Yeah, you can keep the gun, but keep it down.
No.
Kim! You just aggravated the situation.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The man looks at it lying there.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
Let him say it?
The present to be afraid and cold.
The man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. It's blue-gray, the same color as the sea. The future teaches you?
Real music. Real Brilliant Kult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
You need to address that remark.
I'm not a misanthrope. I'm a half-dead police officer who's just doing his job.
The job of a shitlicker.
What's La Revacholière?
It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of 3.
His eyes remain fixed on the sky.
In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Xinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess.
He struggles to remember, then gives up. I've heard that name, somewhere else, in a dream.
Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it.
No, that's not it. I've talked to her.
Talk to her?
He raises his bushy brow and looks down from the sky, straight into your bloodshot eye. Yeah, I get these cold spells. Yes, in the church. Point southwest.
God's shithouse. Should have taken it down like they did in Grad. Dismantled it for firewood.
All around you, the air slowly circulates the islet, carrying little swallows and black-beaked seagulls in its slow drift. They all, every one of them, every bird, mammal, and crustacean,
What?
keep their distance.
How does the song go?
How did it go?
He looks at his gun on the ground and shakes his head slowly.
Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
Pick up the gun lying in the sand.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it closer?
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
So the make is, as he said.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
The lieutenant does not take his eyes off the old man.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a triangle, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
And the statement is corroborating that.
The right type and the right calibre.
The lieutenant nods, glancing at the gun.
He's liking this.
Stow the gun.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been on this island for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands, too.
He looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs.
I was in a resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
So you've been hiding for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's steadfast.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
for her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
I came from there, point to the mainland. I can assure you that's not what the people are planning. I've seen it. Shake your head. Capital's too powerful. The rich are very well organized. Women will always betray you. I guess the first one?
I am not a fool. I know the material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession will lighten the load.
What have you done?
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams.
You said you deserted your unit.
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
What's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
You were just afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
The lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook, but does not take it out.
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
And what does that mean?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower,
He gestures toward it.
huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He looks east.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
But you didn't go to the map room?
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
He looks to the sky.
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
Know what?
That the bourgeois are not human.
Just let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. I think you've been traumatized, and you need therapy, and you needed therapy 43 years ago. What is this place? This island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
Okay, first, I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow?
Murderers?
You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis,
Iblis?
the black-eyed angel.
Shaitan Ahura, the darkened one.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
He looks at his worn running shoes. What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
That doesn't sound good.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
That's what it sounds like to me.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We have opiate-based painkillers. Yeah, how have you coped mentally? The answer to that is not at all. This is pretty serious. You should be looked over and we can help.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
Do you need painkillers?
I have been running out of that stuff.
A light goes on in his eyes and he smacks his dry lips. How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
Nod. I also live in hell. I also have holes in my brain. Point to your head. You notice the lieutenant is about to say something.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
He closes his eyes.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How'd you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted.
He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache under St. Ghislaine, 22B, in the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
Damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
There's a small bunker under the Field building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
What do you mean?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Do you smoke Tiumatori cigarettes?
I do.
Ever smoke them on the mainland?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
All right, tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your termless surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're not coalition appointed. We just try to help people. We're with the good guys. We enforce the law. We keep these animals from killing each other. I have secret plans to turn the RCM into a Mazovian revolutionary unit. We keep people from killing each other.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti communiste dans ce land. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
Oh, boy.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
The communards signed the revolutionary instrument of surrender?
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
he just wipes the blood from his chin.
That's... I understand?
I don't think you did.
No.
You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sporting goods. It's not real.
Oh, so I did read, there's a communist pamphlet, and I read it, and I didn't keep it in the video because it seemed really boring, but there was a section in there about how dumb speed racing was. That basically it's all advertising on the cars, and you only watch it for the wrecks. So it was basically a dig at NASCAR. But yeah, he doesn't like speed racing. So you're a communist soldier from the communist army.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a night philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
He was like a cleric, a shepherd.
So you were like a priest?
No, the opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past.
So that means you're a trained communist?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
I'm not really into politics myself. Say nothing. I have another question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Yeah.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war.
Yeah.
Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
So you're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped. Did you use the gun to shoot and kill? Okay, don't go be direct about it. I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with that gun in the last week or two? Wait, which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you, and in them a chill, like electricity running up your spine, crawling into your skull.
What is it?
All is not as it seems.
Detective.
The lieutenant turns to you with well-disguised impatience. You're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped.
What did I just say?
He keeps shaking his head erratically. Suddenly, he brushes something out of his eye.
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Have you killed anyone in the last week or two?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the
No,
time.
you're not. All right. Did you shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor, Cronell?
The who now?
He leans in and cups his ear.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it. You're in.
The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth the night of March 4th. His name was Ellis Cordinar. He was part of a security detail. The guy, the death squad who took a bullet.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
The lieutenant takes a sudden step forward.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
Something I can't remember?
Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
We're done with the ballistics. Point to the tower. The shot came from the island. You're a communist. I talked to the dead man. He told me communism killed him. What am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of the head. Let's talk about the tower.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
So you're admitting you killed him? Do I want to press him?
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
He waves his hand. There's a twitch. Then one more in his right eye.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.